I went from having an idea to now running a Christian journal business that generates $500 days. And I'm going to show you exactly how I did it step by step. Now, this is the real process. I'm not leaving anything out, but this is exactly how I did it step by step. How I took my God-given idea and turned it into a profitable journal business. And you can do the same as well. So if you're thinking about starting a faith-based product business, this video is for you. Let's get into it. All right, so we have to think about, why did I start this? And you have to think about your why. My why for me, I actually, to be honest, was I really just love designing. And I had this burden inside of me that I was like, listen, I have tons of notebooks. I love writing. I love writing ideas. I love writing down anything and everything. But I was like, I really wanted to have something that married my faith, praying, fasting, things and deposits, revelations that God would give me with my every single day life, my to-do list. These were two things I always was writing in. My time with God, I'd have prayer journals, and in my time in my business, I've got my notebooks. And I wanted something that combined the two. And I didn't want to separate faith and business when they should be exactly the same. God is involved and interested in every single aspect of your business. So this was really where I started. I started because I saw a gap in the market and I couldn't see anything that really filled what it is that I needed. And that's how God would often start with you, is he starts with a burden. You often feel there's a burden inside of you, like, man, I need this, or, you know, or you even feel like yourself, I can be the solution. I can create something. I'm seeing a gap. I'm not seeing anybody fill it. Let me create this very thing. And that's how it started with me. I absolutely love journals. And not only that, I really felt that it was a pulling and a calling from God to go and do it. So me going and getting started was also an act of obedience because of just how I love to create. So honestly, I really just want to encourage you, know your why. Why exactly are you doing this? Are you doing it because God has put this idea in your heart? Are you doing this because you genuinely are just like, man, I've got this burden, this tugging, this pull? Or are you doing this because it's trendy? So I want you to think about this very carefully, because if you're doing something because it's trendy, what happens when it's not trendy? If you're doing something just because you see everybody else doing it, you need to know your why for doing it. The reason being is your why is what will keep you. Your why will keep you in the rainy days. Your why will keep you in the slow sales days. Your why will keep you when you are tired and exhausted. So your why is what will keep you going. My why is that I genuinely felt this was a call from God. This is something God wanted me to do. And the thing is that whenever God puts something and deposits something in you, it's bigger than you. It's not just about you, it's bigger. It's designed to make impact. And I knew that these journals that I was going to create impact for people and other women who would need to use them as well. So first things first is get clear on the vision. Okay. So I was like, I literally was like, I was asking God, okay, is this a one-off product? What else do you need or do you want me to do? So I started off with one product that could serve not only me, but could also serve women out there who needed to marry faith and business, who needed to know that, listen, you don't have to separate the two. God is interested in the both. Not just going through the day and having the prayer journal, and when you finish the prayer journal, you turn it, you close it, and you come back to it maybe at the end of the night. No, it is a book that you keep open throughout the day, because not only does it have your prayer points, but it's also got the priorities that God has set you for the day. And it's also got your to-do list. And it's also got a space for you to write down, how are you going to serve others today? Remember, Jesus said the greatest one is the one that comes to serve. You know, Jesus said, I first came to serve. That's what he came to do. So even for us, how can we in our busy day-to-day lives serve others? And as I said, I just couldn't find anything like this. So you have to go to God and ask, what exactly do you want me to create? Okay, so don't just jump in. Spend time in prayer, spend time in worship. Make sure you really are like sold on the idea. Make sure that you have peace about it. Okay, that's one of the things God gives us when we're making decisions, or to give you some kind of confirmation, is, do you have peace about it? The next thing is, don't be afraid to go and get wise counsel. Go ahead and speak to people. Hey, I really feel that I want to start this. I feel like God wants me to do this. What are your thoughts? Go ahead and do it, honestly. So God showed me the problem, and I was my own problem. So I was designing for somebody that was like me. Amazing. So I designed my planner, and that's what I did, is put it out. But you need to remember something, that every single product or everything that God gives you is designed to transform. So when starting a journal business, for me, I had to transform people's lives. And that transformation is letting people know that, look, God is interested in every aspect of your business, every aspect of your day. Not just the prayer at the beginning or the prayer at the end of the day, but every single aspect. God is interested. All right. So number 2, I then had to go and research and validate this. But to be honest, I was my own person. I was my own problem. I was the one that needed this product. So one of the things that I did is, at the time, when I launched this journal initially, the first journal, it actually failed. But it was okay because I needed it for me. But little did I know at the time that God was actually making me create something to serve a whole bunch of women, and men have been buying it too, that would help them. So when I was obedient to God, because God gave me a specific instruction, and through obeying that instruction, it actually led to me slowly building an audience of people who actually were perfect for my prayer journal and planner product. Crazy. But this is what obedience does. When you obey God and you follow his direction, it may not make sense why you're doing certain things, but my goodness, I tell you something, I was building an audience who was like me. They desired a certain thing, and all my products, they were perfect for. But I started with one. So I want to just encourage you that if you are starting your business, is make sure that as you are doing it, you've got your vision, it is clear. Make sure you go and do research, okay? Now, I always encourage people, if you are creating a journal, go and check out, are there other people doing this? Are people searching up this topic? Is there a genuine gap in the market? Are people looking for this solution? But also, I want to encourage you, if God is telling you to do this idea, put what God says first. So you may have an idea, God may have given you an idea. You may go and do research and you find that nobody's really checking for this, or nobody's done this before. Do not be discouraged. Obey and follow what God has told you to do, okay? God's instruction overrules trends and analytics on Google. Trust me. If you listen to God, you will succeed. Just as God said to Joshua, listen to the word, meditate on the word day and night, and you will not only prosper, but you will have good success. All right. So make sure that you are certain in what God is telling you to do. Do your research and validate the idea. And one of the things I want to share with you is that once I established a repeatable system, in that I knew exactly what people wanted because I was my own solution. But when I started to grow an audience on TikTok, I was like, okay, hold on. There are more people who want stuff like this. There are more people who are hungry, who want to get into prayer, who want to be consistent in prayer. And then it was just like, it's like the doors just opened. The floodgates just opened off of being obedient to one instruction God gave me. Now, the next thing we're going to do is actually create. So I love to use Canva, and Canva is absolutely amazing. It is easy for beginners. You don't have to be techie to use it. And it has a number of beautiful, well-made templates that you can use. So if you want to design your journals and planners, I would advise you to go into Canva and create them there. But I also want to encourage you, you don't have to start perfect. Perfection is something that actually can slow progress. And listen, God blesses progress, not perfectionism. I'm going to say that again for the church at the back. God blesses progress, not perfectionism. It is better that you make progress little by little every single day than don't do anything and be working and working on something to be perfect, but you don't actually make any moves. So I really want to let you know this. So start with a sample. The sample doesn't have to be perfect, but at least design something and put it out. You can refine as you go along the way. Like for instance, I had somebody, a mentee that I worked with, and she was kind of stuck in this phase of has to be perfect, has to be perfect. But once I gave her some advice that, look, God blesses progression when you are obedient and when you keep moving. It is okay if it's not perfect right now. Good enough is good enough. God can do something with good enough, okay? So when I gave her that advice, it's like it just unleashed a mental block in her. And from then, she was able to go and publish her journal and is now making consistent sales, which is absolutely fantastic. But I really just want to encourage you, don't wait to be perfect. Get it to be good enough and launch it. As I was going along, I'm tweaking my products. I'm getting feedback. I'm listening. I'm changing. Sometimes, okay, I don't like the cover. Okay, let's launch. Let's change the cover. Let's do this. I also got feedback from people. Sent it to a couple of friends. What do you think about this? Yes? No? What is the writing space like? Is it too big? Is it too small? All of these things can come as you go along. But if it, like literally guys, just start. Just start. All right. Now, I didn't know how to create a journal. I did not know from Adam. I just knew I liked them. I would buy a notebook. So I'm like, listen, I could create this myself. And once I heard about Amazon KDP being where you can actually print your own books, I was sold. And I was able to watch YouTube. YouTube became my university. And I learned exactly how to create my own journals and planners right here from YouTube. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have anything. And granted, it took me longer. If I had a mentor, gosh, I would have been done quick time. But it is okay. I went through, I learned the lessons, and I know what I know now. And I am grateful that I just started. So guys, if you are not like me where you didn't have the time to go through YouTube University, you can hire someone. Hire someone from Fiverr, hire someone from Upwork, or if you want, you can hire me. And we can help to create your dream vision and bring it to life. So after that, the next thing is setting up your business. Now, a lot of people run and rush to set up a business, get limited companies or get LLCs and all that. I'm like, hold on, wait a second. I have always encouraged people, when you are making regular and consistent sales, then go and set these things up because you need proof of concept. All right. So I didn't go set my things, but I then started to build my website. Now I use Shopify. I absolutely love Shopify. Shopify is user friendly and it's absolutely professional. I also use System.io. System.io is where I use like for my email marketing, for my landing pages and stuff like that. You don't need a lot. For real. Guys, we have things like Standstore. We've got things like Beacons.ai. We've got TikTok Shop. These have been some channels that have really helped me. So don't overcomplicate it. Pick a platform and go all in. I also made sure that my branding was clear, from my logo, Faith Driven Bosses, to my products, my journals, my planners. The design, the branding was clear. You could kind of see some consistency between them, that this is a faith-based business. And not only that, right there, it's got Faith Driven Bosses, but also the title and stuff like that. You can tell that all of my products point back to God because I am a faith-based brand. And remember that your brand should reflect your values. And people should know immediately when they pick up your product, this is a Christian business, or this is so and so. There's something about it that's unique, okay? And then also set up your social media. At the time, as I mentioned, I was on TikTok. I was doing daily Monday to Friday Bible studies. And through that Bible study, it naturally just allowed me to introduce my audience to my prayer journal and planner. And it didn't feel forced. It was absolutely natural because after teaching, like, okay, How can you now build a consistent relationship with God? How can you now build your life and partner with God? One of the things that is encouraged is use a prayer journal. A prayer journal is a great tool to help you to be able to X, Y, Z. It was absolutely natural. So while I was slowly building an audience, I didn't know they were my buyers, but they were perfect. So remember again, always be obedient to instructions that God gives you. You just never know where it's going to take you. The next step is launching and marketing. So when I was launching, to be honest, I just told my audience on TikTok, as I was growing small by small. I started at 200 followers to now we're at 19,000 followers approximately. And I was just telling them about it. Every time I'd finish teaching, doing Bible study, I would just naturally drop it to them and say, hey guys, if you want more, check out this. That was it. It was never forced. It was never salesy. If they wanted to, they'd go buy it. And that was how I literally started. Okay, I didn't have a budget for ads, nothing like that. But what I did is I showed up consistently day after day, and because I was showing up consistently, they could trust me. They were building a relationship. I was building rapport with them, so they knew that they could trust me, that listen, if this is this woman that shows up every single day on TikTok teaching the word of God, praying for people, then do you know what, I trust her, that you know what, her product is going to be quality. I trust her that I'm going to go and get her product. And that's exactly what happened. That is why it's important to be consistent. If you now have a product, you have got to show up daily. You've got to make sure that product is visible, okay? So don't be afraid to create content. I also started to create content on TikTok. Short videos, voiceovers, carousels, just trying to see what it is that my audience gravitated towards. And I started to notice my audience gravitated towards voiceovers where they saw me using the product, etc. And also having it on TikTok Shop was a bonus because I didn't have to send my audience all the time to my website. I could just say, look, if you guys can see the TikTok basket, just click there, and off it was. And also because they trusted that platform, they were okay with it. So literally, remember, marketing isn't about being salesy. It's about serving. How best can you serve your audience? The best way for me to serve my audience was to help solve that problem of how can we get you into the presence of God more consistently? How can we build your prayer habit even more than it is now? And my product answered that, and my teachings highlighted that. So it was literally, it's beautiful. Honestly, I'm going to highlight that obedience is just, please just be obedient to what God says, because there are times I'll pray and God will drop a topic for me. We'll do Bible study on it and it links to one of my planners. I never planned it, but that's how it is. And also, I remember when I started on TikTok, guys, I actually didn't start immediately telling them about my journals and planners because I didn't want to, like, I had this thing in my head about, oh, I don't want to mix money and faith. Like, I didn't want to do that. But God gave me an instruction. He said, promote your planners, promote your journals on the lives. If it wasn't for God telling me that, I wouldn't have said a word. I wouldn't have said anything because I was still in this phase of faith and money and oh no. But that was my audience. They needed what I had. So listen, guys, like, trust me, God, the Holy Ghost is the best marketer. Listen to him. Pray. Be guided by him. Don't be afraid to create your content. Be visible, because if you're not visible, then you're invisible. And it's unfair to demand people to be buying and you want to have all these sales if you're not willing to do the work and make sure your product is visible. All right. So this is the truth, as I mentioned before. My first version wasn't my best version. I started messy. I started raw, but listen, I just needed to get it out. I got feedback from customers. I listened to also what my audience wanted. Where were their gaps in their, maybe in their relationship with God? What could I create that could help be a tool for them? And remember that your business has to evolve. Don't be so attached to the first version of your product that you're unwilling to improve it. That's the whole thing. As you go along, evolve. Don't be afraid to go and learn YouTube. Don't be afraid to go onto Google. Don't be afraid to go and, you know what? Spend a bit of money to learn how to do these things. My process was long because I wanted to learn things on my own. But if you want to go quicker, get a mentor or get a course that can teach you step by step how to start your very own journal business. You have to learn things like e-commerce, like shipping. I ship out my own planners and journals. I also have it available on Amazon, but I love shipping out because it allows me to pray and intercede for that person as well. I'm probably never going to meet that person who gets my journal, but I prayed for them. I prayed for them, and God knows, you never know what that prayer will do. So for me, I see my journal business as ministry. It's not just a business. This is ministry. I am ministering to people. I am pointing people back to God by what? Helping to solve a problem that they have. That's how I see it. So you don't need to have everything figured out before you start. Just start. What helped me to succeed is obedience. God said to create. God said to go ahead. Like this burden he gave me. So I went and I did it. Even though I wasn't too sure, but I was determined to obey God. I made that decision. I was going to obey God no matter what happened. I was consistent. I showed up and I talked about my product. And from talking about my product, I built rapport. I engaged. I posted content. I kept going even when sales were slow. I also built community, relationships with my customers. The more I showed up every single day, the more they trusted me. The more we have conversation, the more I get to know them and they get to know me. And before we know it, now prayer as well. Prayer is key. You have got to be praying over your business, praying over your products, because these are products that are meant to impact people. You are impacting people. You are transforming people's lives. One journal can set somebody free. One planner can help somebody who's disorganized become disciplined and finally walk in the path that God has been calling for them. So don't take these things lightly. Don't just look at these like, oh, it's just a journal or it's just a planner. No, this is serious business. Okay. So also another thing I want to encourage you guys is there are days where things may not go well. Maybe days where you're just like, I can't be bothered to show up. You may be tired or you need some rest or something happens or life happens. Don't fall off the horse. I repeat, do not fall off the horse. Just keep going and give yourself grace. Okay? Give yourself grace. Do not beat yourself down if you made no sales today. It's okay. And one of the things I notice is some people will buy, some people won't buy, and that's okay. This product, I always pray, let it get into the hands of people that need it, because that is who I'm concerned. There's some that will come and buy a few weeks down the line. Once they've seen your consistency, they will come back. This is why, and this is what helped me, is this showing up every single day. All right. So there you have it. This is really how I started my Christian journal business. And these are some tips that you can go ahead and use. Get clear on the vision, validate it. And also, what does your audience want? What is the gap? What is the solution that you have that you can help them with? Set up your business, set up your website, make sure it looks decent. It doesn't have to be perfect with birds and 3D visuals and this and that. Like, no, just start. As long as I can see the product clearly, you can tell me what it has in it, I can see how it transforms my life, you are good to go. Launch it, market, and learn. Learn and improve. It's going to be a continuous cycle. It's not complicated, it's not complex, but it does require faith, obedience, and consistency. Faith, obedience, and consistency. One more time. Faith, obedience, and consistency. So now if God has placed this business in your heart, stop waiting for the perfect moment, because that perfect moment will not come. But the perfect time is to start right now. Yes, right now. So if you have that burden, if you've got that desire, if you've got that feeling that, listen, I really just, I just have been having this idea. I want to put it to, like, make it work. Listen, do it. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take that first step. And that first step is marrying your faith with action and going forward. Remember, this isn't about making money. It's not about how many sales I can make. Do not fall into that trap. This is about serving God's people with excellence and purpose. This is ministry. This is ministry. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and build. Now, if you want to start your Christian journal business, planner business, whatever it is, then I want to encourage you to take a look at Journal to Income system. Now, this is a system that takes you from nothing or just having an idea to having a full finished product that is ready to make sales, etc., and serve the people it's designed to serve. I have poured so much into this, from all the journals, planners, and workbooks I've been able to create. Not only that, the various people that I've been able to help bring their vision to life as well. I have poured everything into this. It also features my exclusive AI assistant. No one else has this. This is exclusive to Journal to Income, that guides you through every single step, from nothing to a complete product, from maybe kind of a product needs to be tweaked to sales. Everything from idea to designing to printing to marketing to how to scale. It is all inside the Journal to Income system. So if you're interested in learning or wanting to launch your journal business within the next 30 days, I want you to take a look at the description box, click the link there, and go and check out Journal to Income system right now.